This guy has been gripping and ripping for 35 years. He's been represented at WAF Worlds for 2 different countries and has multiple national titles. Representing Conroe, Houston, Texas, Livingston, Piedra, Vaught! This man defines the term, test your frame. Prepare to turn your heads. Pulling on home turf, representing the Austin Arsenal, Lorenzo Montanez.
So this is a particularly interesting match because this is not the first time that these guys have gripped up. These guys pulled in a, what would you call that? The entire room froze at Texas State.
Yeah, Texas State. These guys locked up inside.
Right.
And you watched Enzo put his entire frame on the line, and people turned their heads.
Yeah, Lorenzo's putting his frame on the line, putting his arm out.
He is willing to break his humerus.
Was he in a press?
No. He just
like,
fires his shoulder forward and goes.
Okay.
You can expect this to go exactly the same. They agreed to start off in the straps.
Straight to the straps.
Right, so you'll see them go straight to the straps. Very interesting last match. No straps.
What, they held on.
They held on.
They were in a burner for the whole room, and they held on.
And they held on.
Okay.
A lot of guts out there.
So do you think who does the straps favor when you do this, when you take the hands out of the game? If someone's committing their frame, would you say the person committing their frame?
Well, both guys are going to commit their frame. You can guarantee Livingston's going to go inside too. He ain't scared at all.
They both do that.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, this is about to get interesting.
Center's this way, back up.
Very interesting, very quick. Lorenzo has a huge hand for 176. I mean, look at his hand right now, how you can see how much bigger it is.
Don't move.
And he's not weaponizing it. He's willing to go right in.
Well, what we can see underneath the table is he's setting up really high. Like he's on his tippy toes. Lorenzo is ready to crash down completely sideways. His leg is completely wrapped around the table.
Don't move. Go!
Wow.
There it is.
Like I said, we're going to have a fight right off the bat. Livingston's elbow is flirting with danger.
Lorenzo put his...
Look at this frame. Look at the frame.
Lorenzo's committing more and more. Lorenzo's standing tall, collecting. This is really good commitment.
Really gritty match, gentlemen. Livingston's not willing to die. High hook. High hook. There it is. There it is.
So I have to, when they run that back, I think Livingston Vaught took a lot more energy to hold on out in the outside bicep, that outside King's move.
I even think that training with Lorenzo, he's very good at staying there and chilling. Like, it doesn't really work him. The guy trains, he's a fitness professional, right?
Okay.
Yeah, he's a personal trainer for years. And he's used to time under tension.
He made some really good adjustments. I wonder if he's going to start off like this now, because he started the match with his leg wrapped around the table.
I think he goes right back.
But I think what he realized.
But he ended up kicking it out.
Yeah, he ended up kicking out because he was in the center of the table and he couldn't go sideways. So then he
brought
braced
it
it
to
up.
him.
He brought it like in a figure four and braced it up and then was kicking off of it. So does he do the same thing? Does he just start with his foot placed up on it?
I think due to being comfortable, he's going to go to the same exact spot he started and then get there again.
And now what does Vaught do?
He has to make a change. 35 years in the game, he understands what change means, right?
Yeah.
So I think he's going to have to do something different.
The guys competed in WAL. The guys competed in
10 seconds.
WAF Worlds.
WAF Worlds. The guys, or not WAL, WAF. It was WAF.
He represented 2 different countries in WAF Worlds.
That's incredible. Like, so the guys, experience and
versatile.
Yeah. Been around. But
how much energy did he lose?
Yeah, but Lorenzo is modern game, like modern game athlete. He's not. He's young.
He's an athlete in the game.
Yeah, and he was an athlete before he was an arm wrestler.
Oh yeah. Lifetime martial artist.
That matters so much.
It's what we're seeing now. One of the turns of the tide is where the sport is going.
Right.
You're going to have athletes.
Yeah,
here.
you don't just have traditional tradesmen who get into arm wrestling just because they have strong hands and arms. You have athletes transitioning who are coming out of other sports. Maybe they can't compete at the top of the line, like whatever it could be, football or bodybuilding or powerlifting or strongmen. They're like, I'm in my 40s now. I can't really compete as heavily as I. But you know what I can do? I can arm wrestle.
Center's
Yeah.
good. Don't.
And
I mean,
those
you're going to
guys-
have older
shoulder.
dudes that are
Yeah,
coming
yeah.
out of
Don't
big
move.
sports
Yes.
getting involved.
Don't
for
move.
sure.
And those guys are serious. Those guys come from a background of
Real
training.
business,
yes,
boy.
Yes.
Here we go. You can
Don't
see
move.
Livingston
Go.
tensing up.
Wow.
He got a way better bite. Bite there.
Really good.
Enzo is upside down, but he's going to fight it. He's going to do it.
Lorenzo needs
Lorenzo
to elbow
is
foul here.
willing to stay
No,
here.
no, Lorenzo needs to get out of this.
Yeah, because he fouled.
No,
Look at
no,
him
no.
go. He's going to try to
No,
go
no,
through it.
Stop.
Who fouled?
Elbow.
Bolt foul. That was not what needed to happen. Lorenzo Right. I mean, that early cup, high cup, right there, turning Lorenzo upside down. That is what Vaught needed.
Yeah,
And
he was in a perfect position where he needs to go.
And he needs to hold. And I guarantee you, no matter how good of an athlete you are, you're going to get fatigued when you're holding
Fully upside down.
fully upside down on your bicep, out like completely stretched out.
Yeah.
You can't hold on to that.
I mean, it's a position I like to train with lighter guys because I'm doomed.
Yeah, just for the endurance, the muscle fatigue, but you're never gonna put yourself there in a
No,
match.
no.
Never, even against a lighter guy.
Yeah, no.
You're not gonna do that.
Never. So I think that everything Livingston did there was perfect.
So he's gonna do it again.
He's got to run it back, and Enzo has to know that's what's going to happen.
Oh, thumbs up.
And I think he won the go. He definitely
Yeah.
hit first.
Yeah, he got to where he wanted to go. And you could see him tense up before the go in anticipation. Timing was perfect.
And I didn't see what Lorenzo did different with his feet or anything. We're gonna have to double check this time and see what he does.
It looks like Livingston's wearing some fatigue.
All right, there we go.
He's a much older gentleman.
Getting close first.
Push the strap.
This comes
Back.
down
Back
to
a little. Right there. Don't
experience
Move. Shoulder.
versus
Don't move.
fitness level.
Shoulder in.
So
Don't move.
I'm trying to look. How deep is that cup right now? Like how
move.
wrapped around? It's not that far.
No, and the hand
Don't
isn't
move.
that big.
Go.
Here we go.
Much better bite for Lorenzo.
Oh, that's good. He needs to hang out here. He needs to hang out here.
if he's smart. Yeah. There you go.
Elbow down.
Elbows down.
Nope. No way.
Of course.
No way.
That's a match, buddy. I promise. It was trouble. Winner.
Winner.
It was
Wow.
Wow, I love the heat up there. You hear the heat up
He
there?
said, "That's a match, baby."
That's a
He said-
match,
he said,
baby.
"That's a
I
match,
love
baby."
it.
That is. So
Wow.
this is 1-1, and now they know. Like now, Vaught has felt the lane. He knows exactly what he needs to do.
Yeah.
And now Lorenzo needs to figure out what does he need to do on the start. Because I think when he gets into an equal position with Vaught, he's going to do well. Like,
Yeah,
if
he'll
he
have
has
to
to
get
take with a little bit of hand control, or he's okay. He can commit
It's
to
turned upside down.
but if he gets turned, Vaught is turning him upside down, and that is compromising him.
He's got Steve Gruden's corner right now.
And
Steve's quite a bit.
Yeah.
And Steve's stout.
And he's technical too, right?
Yeah,
He's very technical.
I mean, God, said he's more than he pulls.
Yeah. So let's see what comes out of that. I think Lorenzo was thinking he was able to just hold center, like just kind of hold and do something like this,
Yeah.
and just bring
Kind of corkscrew it.
and then commit and push. You know, like
I think that he
literally-
has to fire his elbow forward and just bury his frame off the bat.
Well, I think he needs to make sure whatever he needs actually pronate off the go. He can commit his frame.
You think he comes here
Yes.
and then comes around?
Yes.
I love that. Yes.
Because he needs to fight that cup.
Yeah.
Vaught is winning purely
cup.
off of that initial
Yeah,
cup,
yeah.
turning him on his bicep.
And it's just, I mean, he's like a mantis at the top.
Yeah,
right?
yeah, he did really good.
Yeah.
I didn't think he was going to be able to turn him over as much. I thought the grip that I saw, he was going to have a hard time turning him upside down.
Yeah.
But he still managed to do it.
No problem. And once he gets there, if he stays there, it's really hard to deal with.
Centers this back elbow up.
He's in no
And
rush to
center-
finish it,
Centers that way.
right? They have a right-handed match after this. I
push
mean,
him off
suck
center.
him up, right? Beat him up before you have that
And push
match.
him off center. Center's right there.
We know how bad
Shoulder
Lorenzo
in.
wants this one, the first
Shoulder
one
in.
though,
Don't
because it
move.
puts the other guy on
Shoulder
his back
in.
feet.
Don't move.
All right, so he's going to do it. Oh, I feel like he's fighting for it now. Look like Vaught. Look
Lorenzo
at
set up to
Vaught.
go
Look,
sideways.
look. Oh, there it is. It's better. It's better. Oh, I feel like Vaught has a high hand.
His elbow though. His elbow.
Does the elbow come off the front?
Yeah, one elbow on this side.
On where? Offside.
He's off the
The
side.
elbow.
Off the side.
It was
One elbow on
close.
this side. Came right off
I
the
could
side
see
of his
it.
head.
Yeah, it was close.
That foul was very, very well seen on the camera.
That was a match, though. And I think that was a match that was going to last a little bit longer. When you see
I
Vaught
also
was
think
committing
that
the pronation
that
through his
favored
frame.
that favored Livingston. I think that Enzo was where he wanted to be there. He wasn't fully upside down yet.
Yeah.
And he still had the ability to go sideways. Center of table wasn't
But
completely lost.
Vaught's not winning with his pronation. That's what he does.
Yep.
He commits the hand, and then he starts pronating through his shoulder, kind of like Michael Todd. He's like,
Yeah,
he's
oh,
like,
yeah.
he's
Yeah,
like
yeah.
leaning backwards, and,
And he'll lay down on it.
Yeah, and he's twisting his whole, he's contorting his whole body so that he can pronate through his arm. But the problem is that doesn't really work, I think, against Lorenzo if you don't have Lorenzo on his bicep. If you
Agreed.
If, you
If
haven't
Lorenzo
supinated him.
maintains any of his hand.
Yeah, you're going to lose that frame on frame war.
Yep.
And it's interesting is that like Livingston is using his frame, but he's not committing it the same way.
Yep.
Right? He's using
He's
his frame through his
internal
shoulder.
rotation.
His internal rotation
Yeah.
through his shoulder and his pronation through his shoulder, but he's not bringing that shoulder forward like Lorenzo is.
Hands open. I need center. More. There. Shoulder in. Back this one up. Shoulder in.
You can hear Trayton Black in the background, a training partner of Lorenzo, telling him he's got to get the control off the bat. He's got to keep it on his side.
Yeah, they both know they're fighting for this right here. They're fighting for the go. Okay. No, this favors Lorenzo.
This is the place
favors
that Lorenzo wants to be.
Right there. Look, Lorenzo slid the elbow forward, and he's committing with
Committed
his
in
arm.
the frame. There's the
This is
frame
scary.
commitment.
This is a scary position. What is it? What do they call? Elbow on
All right,
Livingston.
2-1. This is not over. This is not over. 2-1. Yo, we're in a fight. This is a grinder.
That match, I think, was leaning towards Lorenzo, and again, it's because Vaught did not turn him over right off the go. Who's in the corner right now? This is
his wife, Tammy.
his wife, Tammy,
Right, and Steve
Bo.
Groot. You can see that Enzo is actually
Steve.
using a cool mitt.
Where?
He has a cool mitt on his right hand right now, and that's to cool your core through your palms. It's
And
a
this-
pretty cool piece of equipment. It's
and
a company
is
that's
this
sponsoring
Ian?
him.
Ian and Vaught.
Yep, Ian's here to rub Vaught out.
And does Vaught train out of Austin?
No, that's pretty interesting, right? Because Ian trains with Livingston.
Right.
I mean, Ian trains with Lorenzo.
Lorenzo, right. But I guess
But
maybe-
he got permission from Lorenzo because they're old friends,
Okay.
and he asked him to coach him.
Right. The brotherhood in arm wrestling runs
Oh, the
deep,
brotherhood
right?
is deep.
You
Yeah,
know,
yeah,
you
yeah.
develop these relationships over tens of years, and
Yeah.
then, you know, you want to support one another. Also, at this point, how could you not have respect for both of these athletes? They're both.
I mean, they're both laying it on the line.
They're both laying it all on
Yeah,
the line.
talk about grinders. And when we talked to them both, we knew we were getting a grinder out of this.
Well, I think, so Lorenzo won at state,
Yep.
and Vaught wanted to redeem himself because he thought he didn't think he deserved to lose.
Yep. Yep.
But
And there
they-
was so much heat at that table.
Right, and what
we're
you said-
seeing it here again.
The whole room stops. You know, you're in this outstretched position.
Mm-hmm.
You know, anytime someone commits their frame, you're doing one or two things. You're either glued to it, or
turning
you're
your head.
turning your way.
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
You're
yeah,
turning
yeah.
away.
Yeah.
You want to get away from it.
For sure.
And I think when Lorenzo does it, because I think he seems so comfortable while he's doing it,
tighter?
you just want to watch.
Yeah. Look at the fitness level
Yes.
of Lorenzo. His skin is paper thin. It's
It's
crazy.
Yeah. Did he have to cut weight or anything?
No, he walks around
Shoulder
really
in.
close, so he'll
More.
do like a 2-pound cut.
Right there.
A
Don't move.
2-pound cut.
It ain't no, so
Don't
no,
Yeah. And Lorenzo's probably not that much heavier than 76 either.
Livingston.
no. That's how he walks around for sure. He gets sometimes up to
Don't move.
82.
This looks really good. There it is.
That's where
Oh,
Livingston
no, he
wants
needs
to
to
be.
commit the cut. He needs to commit the cut.
Uh-oh. Lorenzo's talking to him.
No, he needs to commit the cut. This isn't what I
They're
wanted to
still
see.
talking.
This is it.
He's willing to press. He's willing to press.
There it is.
Wow. Wow. What a fight.
So
What a fight.
Vaught's wrist just got compromised as Lorenzo started rolling through his arm and pressing and staying pronated. Let's see what Dustin says with Lorenzo. They're going to interview right here.
All right, my friend.
Yes.
Talk about a war, boys. Hats off, Livingston.
Yeah.
That was a fucking war.
That guy's a vet. That guy's been arm wrestling since I was born.
Yeah, that's a monster.
And that guy is still fucking strong. And I hope to be like that guy when, when I'm his age. But no disrespect at all, man. You're the man.
So, this isn't over. You guys have a right-hand match after this. How did you expect left hand to go in comparison to right?
I had no idea because I know that's his dominant arm. And I wanted, all I had to do, I knew, was to meet him in the middle. You know, if I could do that and if I could match him. But today was my day, so.
All right.
Sorry, Livingston.
Well, guys, we still have a right-hand match. Good luck to you, my friend. Well done.
All right, gentlemen. We're going right to the strap.
So one of the things to think about in arm wrestling is arm breaks happen. How to pull in a safe way. One of the ways you do that is by keeping your hand in between your shoulders, right? You maintain 3 points of contact, you could look at it as, where your hand is in between your shoulders and your eyes are looking at your hand. If you're first getting into the sport, one of the things you really want to focus on is keeping your hand between your shoulders and keeping your eyes on your hand.
Right.
I like to teach new guys to look at their index knuckle when they pull, and instead of just driving sideways, like you'll see Enzo doing this, you want to pull back to you until you understand those fundamentals and you can pull safely.
Yeah, and it's funny because these athletes
Livingston,
here are not the
close your
ones
thumb up or
that
down?
you'd want to look at to
Yeah,
learn how to
yeah.
pull safely.
Up
But
or down? Down.
what's
Both of you
that
guys
mean?
are
Like
down.
after a while, right?
We're gonna start with
athletes
elbows,
will
please.
naturally
Elbows back,
develop
2 inches.
their own styles.
Yep.
And they'll kind of
Livingston,
fall
you want to put the
into
strap tighter?
techniques that maybe I'll call them traditional. They're not traditional moves that you know.
Yeah, and also,
Elbows back.
as you learn to pull inside, outside, outside
back.
attacking the hands,
Elbows
inside
back.
attacking the bicep.
Livingston, elbow back.
The game kind of
More.
has a chain, right? Fingers,
That's it,
wrist,
right there.
bicep, shoulder.
Center, don't move.
Right, and these are the areas that you attack
here
when you
to
go into
warning.
this.
Shoulder,
And as you pull,
looks good.
you'll get
Shoulder looks
stronger
good. Don't
in
move.
those areas and more resilient to injury. So it just takes time to get to the level that these guys are at, and you can commit that frame.
movement. One warning.
And when we say commit the frame, it means shoving that
close your
shoulder
hand,
forward,
rotate
where you're
again,
willing
okay?
to put that humerus at risk
one
to have a
warning.
spiral fracture. Right? If
Elbows
your
still look
hand
pretty good
travels
right there.
outside
I'm
your
happy
shoulder,
with
that's
that.
how you
Don't
get
move.
hurt.
Shoulder.
Some guys get very resilient in that
Don't
position.
move.
And they're willing
Shoulder,
to dive
don't
in like
move.
you'll see here right now.
Thumbs.
Yeah.
Close
That
me
makes me
first,
nervous
Lorenzo.
sometimes.
Sure.
Still, Woody. Still.
Yeah.
It
Don't
still
move.
makes me.
I'm not there for sure.
Stop!
See, but that was clean.
That's
That was
clean.
just a high hook right there.
High hook, yeah.
Right? And
So
a
high hook
Winner.
meaning he.
Yeah.
Can you break it down a high hook like you saw there?
Yeah, a high hook is going to be like an equal amount of hand and arm dominance. You're coming from the center of the table, and typically you're applying
Yeah.
an equal amount of back
He's
pressure, which is
coming over.
towards you, like a hammer curl, and side pressure.
Yep,
And
yep,
it's
yep.
this, it's the top of the triangle, top of the pyramid in arm wrestling technique. It means you have dominant hand, dominant arm.
Yeah, if you can do all of that,
If
that's
you-
a tough move to beat.
It's very tough. And it's something that if you have a strong hand and strong arm, it's a move you want to lead with because
Yeah.
you can let it lead the dance because then as the match goes on, you can decide,
You can transition.
Yeah, was my arm failing? Was my hand failing?
Yeah.
Do I need to move more inside,
Just as
more
we discussed,
outside?
the chain, right? Fingers, wrist, bicep, shoulder. Elbow integrity is another part, right? And
Absolutely.
as you begin in this game, one of the things you'll really feel is the pain through the elbow. But if you push yourself through that, continue training diligently, it goes away very, very much. You create a buffer in that realm.
All right, gentlemen. To the table, please.
All right, these athletes are getting all shooken out. They're getting re-chalked. They're getting their arms up. I don't know what Vaught was told in his corner, but I think he's.
Yeah, well, he knows he has to do something different. He has to try and utilize hand dominance.
What do you do after you've just high hooked?
I mean, I think all you do is go for a traditional top roll and you go straight back because
Yeah.
it's the enemy of side pressure.
Well, it's actually too. I think the thing that beats a high hook actually is one of the extremes.
Extremes, yeah.
Right? Like you have the very high.
What
you have
chain
the-
can you break?
Right, and so the extremes in arm wrestling are you have extreme outside, which means arm completely open, king's move,
Yep.
where the other guy just can't finish
And
you.
you're laying into his
Right.
fingers.
Or you have that shoulder so far forward, and that's an inside move.
And you're
Your
able to cup.
Right,
Yep.
and one of those,
So
right?
cupping being ultimate wrist flexion, like you're pulling something towards you.
And bending your wrist all the way.
Tighter.
Yep.
Can you
And
all
hold
the
it?
way over.
The
Fingers?
problem is
Hold them tight
is
for me.
typically if you got high hooked, you may not have the tools
Both
to
of you
come.
close
Like
your
you
thumbs
may
down.
not have.
Yeah,
Both
you have
of
to
you close
figure
your
out
thumbs
what
down.
part can you break
Lorenzo?
on him at that point, and they were
Right.
dominant.
And it's hard to find out.
Yeah.
And sometimes you can find out in the after pulls. You can
totally
find out in
perfect.
practice.
I
you
mean,
can talk to your teammates.
there's so much you learn at that point.
But you can't
Livingston,
find out right now.
Close your thumbs down.
Now's
yeah.
not the time.
Lorenzo,
I mean, you
close
just
your
have to
thumb
be
down.
extreme,
Is that
right?
what you're doing?
You have to
Okay.
go extreme and try something
Open your thumbs.
dramatic.
Center's right there.
You know what's
Elbows
real
back.
interesting is these two guys.
Elbow back right there. That's
Vaught
center.
has
Don't
over
move.
70
Shoulder.
matches recorded in Aries on his right
Don't
arm,
move.
when
Shoulder.
Lorenzo
Don't move.
only has like
your
14,
thumbs.
15 matches.
This guy's
Livingston,
been around
close you
forever.
first.
Yeah, it's just like, but it's the new age of arm wrestling.
Yeah, new blood.
One warning.
Yeah, absolutely.
I didn't close your hand.
So what are they complaining about? Can we hear
I was
them?
about to.
So it
Didn't
looks
get a
like
chance. Okay, let's try it again.
Marcus
one
was
warning on
closing
this
one of their
side.
hands.
Okay? Elbows are good. Don't move.
Hold on.
Shoulder.
So what happened
Don't
is
move. A little shoulder
Vaught
here. Don't
went to
move.
close his own hand.
Thumbs. Lorenzo, closing
okay,
you first
okay,
this
okay.
time. Don't cover the knuckle. Don't move. Go!
He stopped it. He stopped that.
Yeah.
Strap.
No way.
Oh, no.
That was
It was very
Parallel
fast.
pin.
sir.
Winner.
Parallel pin.
So what's happening is a pin doesn't have to be the hand touching the pad. Actually, the wrist can break the
Right.
line between both pads.
Right. Anywhere from where your wrist begins to bend
Yep.
and up to your fingertips has
Yep.
to break like this invisible
And I
plane.
have had my fingers sweep under it.
Right, right, and it's not just touching the pin pad, but it is this invisible plane of
Across
the pin
the
pad
pad.
across the whole
Yeah.
table.
Yeah.
So,
And so that's why you see like the down ref is down there looking low through
Right.
the pads
At
so that he can see
eye
something
level,
like that. break.
right? You know, it's really hard too, is because I think I was on your side.
And
It
that
looked
was
like it
stopped.
stopped.
Yeah.
It looked like okay, he's a centimeter above the pad. He got stopped.
And I was watching it on screen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. From over here, I can't see as well, but we have the same live everyone else has, and we're able to see right here at the table,
Yeah.
like we're standing right next to these athletes, and it looked very close.
Very close.
One more, Enzo.
Very,
So
very
now,
close.
all right, Lorenzo's pacing. He's composing himself, and I think
You can
Vaught-
see Livingston's thinking things
Vaught
out
is
right
still
now.
a little upset. I think Vaught really felt like he stopped it, and now he knows he has to stop it again.
He's got to stop it just a second sooner.
Yeah.
And if he stops it there, does Enzo go straight to a press?
Does Lorenzo have a press on his right arm? Is
I mean, he-
he
Alright,
able to
gentlemen.
bring that shoulder all the way
Table,
forward
please.
and tricep extend into
I think he does.
Livingston's arm?
I think he does. Not well practiced, but he does.
Okay.
Apply the strap.
And now that the matches are kind of concluding for these lighter weights, especially for Lorenzo and Vaught, do you think at the end of the day, going straight to the strap favored anybody? Because I have an opinion, but I want to hear yours.
Here's what I could say about going straight to the strap for Austin Arsenal guys, especially. There ain't no one getting on a table and not getting strapped right up immediately.
Okay, so y'all train almost exclusively in
I
the
mean,
strap.
so much. We
Hey,
train how to get there,
So
and
do
we
I.
train how to compete.
My
there.
my team, my guys, even the new guys, brand new, I have them pulling inside the strap.
Yeah, yeah.
And that's because, and today, modern arm wrestling,
It's where it's gonna go.
2024,
Yeah.
it's strap arm wrestling.
Yep.
If a match doesn't make it to the straps, you probably didn't need to be having a match in the first place. If you can just one
thumb
person
down.
gets contained outside
Yeah.
the straps.
I mean,
before-
unless you're both going to go inside, right?
yes,
if you're
sure,
both gonna dive
sure.
inside,
But
we
even
could practice
hooking-
like that
but
all day.
even hooking
It's different in the
down.
strap.
is different in the
Yeah,
strap
definitely.
because your arms are
Close the thumb down.
strapped up and
Lorenzo.
connected at the bottom. And
Okay.
anyone who
Serve the elbow
has done
back.
any sort of weightlifting, they know
Elbow
the further
back.
away the weight is from your elbow, the
Elbow
heavier
back.
it is.
Yeah.
So you're
Right
basically
there.
giving each guy an anchor point.
That's center
Yeah,
right
for
there.
sure.
All right,
Shoulder.
we know
Don't
what's going to
move.
happen
Shoulder.
here.
Don't move.
Lorenzo's going for the high
your
hook.
thumbs.
Vaught is
Livingston
going
closing you
for
first.
a almost a king's move. He's going to just.
No, look at he's trying to break
Don't
it.
move.
Is this cupping?
see
Is
Vaught.
this
Go.
cupping?
Yeah.
Oh no,
Stop.
that was a pin.
Nothing he can do. Nothing he can do.
Elbows down, please.
All right. Wow. So that's was just a 3-0 win left and right. I don't remember the left-handed scores, but this is we're gonna see Lorenzo back. I think he's gonna come back and he's gonna get to defend this position. And this is what it looks like to be on home turf. This is
over
what it
here.
looks like to be a modern day.
All right, my
athlete.
friend. That was wicked.
That was awesome.
That was awesome, right?
awesome,
You're
yeah.
on top of the world right now.
A little bit.
Yeah. So you figured it was going to go that way if you got through his left hand.
Yeah. I mean, that's exactly like my teammate Trey said. You
Yeah.
see it, you do it,
Yeah.
and that's exactly what happened.
I bought you guys a little bit of time after that grinder you had and
Yeah,
had
yeah.
Heath come out. I thought that maybe the fatigue would be a factor. How do you feel about your fatigue? Where were you at?
I mean, dude, I train like a monster. There's no fatigue. There's no excuses.
You're ready to keep going.
It's just, yeah.
All right.
That's it.
Well, with that being
We
said,
prepared.
we'll see you soon.
Thank you, sir.
Yes, sir.